Off in the round of 256 with two baller nerds starting down here at the bottom right side of the map in the purple, representing Rutgers University. Somebody actually very familiar to me because I actually broadcasted him throughout the season of the CSL. So this is Carnage. Kind of nice to see a little bit of familiarity. Of course, you know, kind of to like understand that, like usually around of 256, you're gonna have some of the, by I guess, ladder rank lower level players, and I mean these guys aren't really much lower. Like Carnage is like really up there. He's really talented. If I'm not mistaken, even a former GM by rank. I'll have to double check that because there's a few CSL players that have had like stints in like the GM level, and I'm not 100% sure if he's him. Like it's not exactly like clear cut like Sup or Angelisk or somebody like that. So I'll have to like double check again. But Carnage, he's had a lot of wins and he's a pretty good player. He's going to be up playing against up here towards the top left side of the map in the yellow. It is the German player Satalko. That's what it was on the page for the brackets, but it looks like HuaynaCapac, CPAC. Oh my god, I'm gonna call it Huyana. We're gonna go Huyana. Carnage versus Huyana. There we go. Alright. Kicking things off, of course, on King Sejong Station LE. Guys, welcome in again. If you're just tuning in, be sure to let everybody know about the stream link. We also have a Reddit thread right now with all the streams. Be sure to go upvote it. I don't care. Like shadow ban me, Reddit. Yeah, go upvote it. Let people know that we're live. Of course, there is the main stream. You guys can check out. You can go to Team Liquid or go to Twitch TV. I think it's /Red Bull Esports if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, no, like today is going to be a really fun packed day. Global qualifiers. If you guys watched the first one, you definitely will know that we had a lot of action in day number one for the global qualifiers. Koreans just absolutely mass murdered the bracket. We had a few foreigners like Snoot and Harstam get pretty deep, but eventually ended up being a final between Polt and Impact. So very interesting to see who's going to come out today. A lot of top talent, a lot of Korean players once again in the bracket. If I pull out just for a second just to take a look and look through Historic Hush, we got Penguin, who got pretty deep last time as well, Hurricane, Niche, Deer, Solar, Armani, Alive, BL Apocalypse, Gamja, we have JYP, Nest T, the creator of them all, Curious, Ryung, Hero, we have Violet, we have, man, I'm going through Korean specifically, like Gumiho, we have Arthur, Dongray Gu, Emotion, Hack, Reality, Boom Boom, Supernova, Seed, Oz, Heart, oh my god, Hydra, Squirtle, and Losir, and the list goes on. We're going to miss some of this game if we keep going with this list. It only gets bigger and bigger. So let's take a look over on Huyana's side of things, what he's got going for him, and it looks like he just went for a quick little gateway expand, utilize the high ground to wall off, and then one gas just to have more resources a little bit faster to be able to put down his expansion. Meanwhile, over here, of course, we had Pool, Hatch, gas. Carnage started to mine that gas out. Should have enough to soon start speed, and after usually speed gets started, players will be comfortable enough to take a third hatch. And you know, by pulling off with the gas right now, definitely I think that's going to be the case. We have seen some players, in fact, decide to continue mining from gas, continue maybe even grabbing a second and a third one, going for a little bit of a quicker lair, which can be advantageous in some stages and some portions. But if you feel a little bit more comfortable versus your opponent playing like this, then that's fine as well. Big day, of course. Past few days have been pretty big too as well. IEM, we've had Red Bull qualifiers, we had DreamHack, we have had man, I've already lost track of everything we've had. We had IEM, Toronto qualifiers, we've had Red Bull qualifiers. I'm starting to lose it. We had, I know a couple weeks ago now, already we could actually say a couple weeks now, we had WCS qualifiers. I'm trying to think what's the other one that I broadcasted recently, but anyways, it doesn't matter. You guys, if you guys missed any VODs, anything like that, you guys can of course go over to youtube.com/cheeseheadlogic. We'll be uploading also these VODs right after the tournament. And after we get probably to the round of 128 to potentially round of 64, seeing where we're at in the bracket, we will most likely have a lot of Korean games and a lot of top play. Not to say that we could have some top play here. These kids should. That's actually the funner part. Like we're obviously going to see. Somebody like maybe Carnage and Hyuna. There might not be exactly on the level of innovation and SKT won a good old reign, but usually and because of that, they're not at that level. We see a lot more, I feel like, fun games to watch. Just, you know, there's a lot more variety. There's a lot more spontaneity of just, like, things that could actually happen that could be a little bit more fun to watch. Now, Carnage beginning to spread the creep a little bit further out on the map, trying to extend it over to the third base so it could get a little bit quicker over there. Starting to remine right now from double gas, lair underway. Just overall playing pretty, I want to say standard, but very safe as well. Not doing anything too risky. We already, like we said, we saw the Roach Warren. We have the already speed finished up, so if there was an attack or push coming, he would be actually able to be ready and start producing units for it. But we can see a nice little flood of links heading across the map right now. Mothership Core just checking the outskirts of the base. Usually with this type of flood of lings, like, it usually is able to hit a pretty nice third base timing at least, but for the time being, Huyana, of course, is staying put for the time being. Now, he's supply block for the time being. A little bit supply block, so there we go, finally gets unblocked. Here comes a Void Ray coming out, but we'll be interested to see how he works it. Now, he's... Oh, okay, he's got one more force field. I was about to say, he's almost out of force field, so we could maybe see these links slip in, but continues warping in for now. I think that's a little bit of an overreaction. At this point, he needs to stay probably a little bit more safe, or in terms of warping in units. Saves resources, put him more into, you know, upgrades, put him into more gates. He doesn't exactly need more units right away. And that's kind of some of the development of the Protoss game, I guess you want to say, as the game like it develops and it goes on from the early to the mid stages. You don't exactly need a lot of units, at least if you're not planning to go for an attack to hold off a wall. You got your sentries, you have, of course, the stalker from the back. You just need something that can wall off, and then of course if you start spending those resources too early on warp ins of units like these two zealots right here, they're not really necessary. Could have saved that, you know, 200 minerals, put that into a gate, would have helped out, invest into a second gate after that. Could have even helped out on the pathway to get a third base, but as we see Tim Minimark still no third base out just yet. Looks like he's planning to move out. He's being very cautious because he did see earlier that little flood of lings. Hallucinated Phoenix checking out what's going on right now. We take a look back and see what's going on Carnage's side of the base. He's got +1/+1 Carapace missile, +1 Hydra range, and as well Roach speed. Putting up Spore Crawlers just in case, always a very smart idea. You don't want to lose to DTs, you don't want to lose to Oracles. You know, I mean, typically you can't really technically lose to an Oracle really hard, but you will lose a lot of workers if you're not too cautious about it. But here comes that flood of lings we were talking about. Units are a little bit out of position, and this Nexus will be surrounded, already canceled. Zealots coming over, but they're going to be a little bit late. They're going to be a little bit late. You can only do so much right there. Now, Twilight Council, it looks like charge upgrade did just finish up as we saw. We have Void Rays coming out, kind of a little bit of a slower pace. We got a Dark Shine as well, so at least he's going to be able to have some DTs as well as also form some Archons along the way if he ever needs them. And we'll see here. Here he comes. Oh. Oh. Yeah, this time this base is a lot more safe, but the problem is he's not 100% safe right now. Hydras are out, DPS, so he's going to get the complete surround. The DPS, the Hydras from the DPS will try to clear out all the charge lots. The Lings will be able to get surface area on the sentries. The Guardian Shield goes down, and now it's Hydras pinging away to everything else. Now, the Hydras might be a little bit surprised. We see that time warp thrown down, and here we go. Once again, we're talking about that balance. 10 seconds, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. 30 seconds, 10 seconds, it doesn't matter. Units will get out of it. Most worthless balance change ever. I'm gonna repeat it over and over again until like somebody from Blizzard hears it. Like, what a nonsensical balance change, man. You're gonna either get out of it or whatever's gonna happen. Like the one thing I'm looking at, like early game, it's not holding anything off for the most part. 10 seconds is not doing anything for the early game. I'm trying to think late game, like maybe we have like these big battles, but usually the big battles already happen. Something gets roasted. Usually the combo when you're trying to put it down as a Protoss with the time warps, at least from what I've seen as a Terran player, versus Terran specifically, at least. I'm gonna say versus Terran specifically. You put the time warp down, and then you storm on top of them. Those units that are trapped in there, they're a little bit slower, so it's a little bit easier to hit and drop the storm on them. So the storm's going to hit anyways. You drop the time warp, the storm is usually pretty much there and set within that 10-second range. Like they're going to either get out of there or they're going to get hit before that 10 seconds, man. Brutal. Alright, 1DT going to be heading over here to the 4th base. There is absolutely no detection. He does not have an Overseer flying with him as well. 3rd base is safe, but Natural is exposed, and also this 4th base. Needs to make sure, yeah, there we go, he gets an Overseer out. It's kind of one of those things, a little bit lackadaisical moment. Starts working his way over. Will he be able to get one Queen? Queen, run away! DT kind of going off on its own. We'll get killed off right now. We do have +2/+2 just about done. We have some Vipers getting involved as well. 6 more drones reproduced to saturate that newly 4th base, newly 4th hatch. 5th hatch over here to the right side of the map. He's already cleared out the rocks really nicely. Injects have been pretty good. I think he's got time to maybe drop one creep tumor over here to start spreading it, because that's what you really want. You want that connectivity to be able to move across the map very smoothly. You're able to run over your base if you ever need to defend it. But, you know, overall right now, Carnage is doing a wonderful job of, you know, just keeping his game very balanced, I want to say. He's got a good unit pack, he's got upgrades, he's got hatcheries, he's got econ. His opponent, meanwhile, on the other side, let's take a look and see what he's up to right now. He's built up some more Void Rays. He's got a lot of charge lots, actually, right here. +2 attack upgrades. Could probably start +3 if he wanted to right now, but he's going to be adding a Robo here very shortly. I am worried, though, because, you know, you take a look at the units that are on the map right now. The roaches are going to be very thick. It's going to be a very, very thick wall to break through. That is the Iron Curtain of Zerg right there. You're going to have a lot of roaches soaking up damage of the charge lots, Hydras in the back DPSing everything down. You, of course, have Vipers to snag anything that they want. Void Rays, Archons, really. Here we go. They're going to start fighting, and we do have a Storm right there. Another Storm right there, but you can just see the Roach is doing a wonderful job of buffering right now. How long are they going to be able to hold off? And it looks like they're going to be able to hold off quite a bit. Hydras begin focus firing those Void Rays that just got yanked. Archons are falling down. Only a few more units left. Watching a little bit of a surround and a little bit of a flank from Charge Lot, but that's not going to be enough. GG is called from Hyuna, and Carnage takes game number 1.